Hello, this is Miss Logan again. We're going to discuss finding the circumference of a circle and also finding the area of a circle. To find the circumference of a circle, we can use our formula. C is equal to pi times the diameter, or you may see it written in this way. C is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. It's the same formula, it's just written in a different form. So it's okay to use either one of them, depending on how your problem is written or the information that you are given. A circle is defined by its diameter or radius. The ratio is the circumference to the diameter, and that's where our pi comes in. Pi is a very, very long number. It's actually over 1 trillion digits now that's been calculated. The digits never repeat, nor do they end. But for calculation purposes, we just use 3.14. So pi is approximately 3.14. To your right, you will see two examples where the first example, your diameter is given, which is 12 centimeters. So you would use C is equal to pi times your diameter, and that would be 3.14 times 12, and you would get 37 and 68 hundredths. The second example, you're giving your radius, and we know that our radius is half of the diameter. So what we would have to do here is just calculate our diameter using that same formula, and we would do that by multiplying it by 2. So if the radius is 8, then 2 times 8 will give us 16, and that's the diameter. The ratio there is 2 to 1. So C is equal to 3.14, which is pi, times 16, and that would give us 50 and 24 hundredths. And don't forget, the circumference of a circle is like the perimeter is to the rectangle. So it's just the distance on the outside of that circle, whereas the area would be the space on the inside of that circle. We have two practice problems here for you. Find the circumference of each circle. Round your answers to the nearest tenth. So your first one, you're given your radius, which is 5 feet. And in your second one, you're given your diameter, which is 70 inches. In your first example here, you're given your radius. Your radius is 5 feet. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our formula. C is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. And we multiply 2 times 5, which is going to give us 10 times pi. And then we multiply 10 times pi, round that off, and we're going to have 31 and 4/10 because directions stated to round to the nearest 10. Now, one thing I do want to point out is you might say, well, Miss Logan, this is written this way. Well, we can write it that way. And the reason we can, remember, multiplication is commutative, meaning order does not matter. Just like addition, that's one of our properties, the commutative property. Order does not matter when you're multiplying or you adding, but it definitely matters when you're dividing or you're subtracting. Problem number 2. You are given your diameter, which is 70 inches. So we're going to use our formula. C is equal to pi times the diameter. So all you have to do here is plug and play. And by that I mean just plug in for that variable the value that is given or that value that it represents and do your multiplication. Once you multiply 70 times pi, you'll get 219 and all these digits. So of course you're rounding off to the 10th place. Your final answer is 219 and 9 inches. Area of a circle. The area of a circle, the formula is the area is equal to pi times your radius squared. So whatever your radius is, you have to square it and multiply it by pi to get the area. So let's recap. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to a point on that circle. So from the center to any point on that circle is the radius. Pi is 3.14, or that's the calculation that we use for pi. And the area, or the formula for area, is pi times the radius squared. The example 1, your radius is given, which is 7 inches. So the area is pi times your radius squared. Your radius is 7. So that's 7 squared, which is going to give you 49 inches squared, and multiply 3.14 times 49 inches squared, and your area is equal to 153 and 86 inches squared, or 153 and 86 square inches. Example number 2. Here, example number 2, your diameter is given. So again, our area formula is area is equal to pi times your radius squared. Now what we do know is that the diameter is twice the radius. So we will need to divide the diameter by 2 so we can get the radius. So 8 divided by 2 is going to give us 4 centimeters. And then you multiply 3.14 times the radius squared, which is radius is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, and then complete those calculations. I know this was short, but this was just a review, and I really hope it helped. If it did, I want to know it. If it didn't, I want to know that too. So, see you next time.